before we start discussing everything. So, as we wait around, tonight I'm going to be talking about adoption and fostering and what it was like for me on my journey and everything. Also, I want just a moment. There we go. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I am no expert on this. I can only speak from my experience and what it was like for me in the state of Iowa. I know that everybody's state is a little bit different. So, um, just for the meantime, ask whatever questions that you want. I will answer as best as I can from my point of view and whatnot. So, we're just going to start with that. So if anybody has anything that they would like to say right offhand, go ahead and let me know. You can just drop it right down there in the chat, which is fine with me. I'll just. Hey Heidi, thanks for coming in. So, like I said, tonight we're gonna be talking a little bit about fostering and adoption and what it was like for me and my family, and kind of what led me on this journey and path, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So, if anybody has any quick questions, go ahead and let me know. Razor, good to see you. Also, I know that other people have their own, they might have their own experience with. Do I? I got everything turned off. The only thing, I don't have anything, like, I don't hear anything on my end. Like, literally nothing. Am I sounding okay to everybody? Okay, well, if my sound, does sound a little bit bad, okay. It just might be you, Sarah. Oh, that woman, I swear. Sometimes she's worse than my kids. My two lovely, lovely children, who are otherwise preoccupied at the moment. So hopefully I won't be, um, not bothered, but, bothered tonight. All right, so, first and foremost, does anybody out there listening, watching, whatever, do any of you have any experience with fostering or adopting? Besides me, I know I do, but that's me. And if you hear that, that would be the air conditioner that just kicked on. All right, so we have someone who has a foster daughter here. Okay, cool. So you kind of know what the process was like for you. Again, I can only speak to my situation here in Iowa and what it was like for me. So, um, so when a child is removed, the state of Iowa first looks for any safe relatives, anybody kind of close. And then if they can't find anybody, then they find somebody out there with any prior significant relationship, whether it be like a close family friend, maybe a distant cousin or anything like that. And if none of them can be found, then they start moving towards licensed foster care. So does anybody know what the actual goal is for fostering? I'll give you a few moments if you happen to know what the actual goal of fostering is. You might be surprised at what the actual goal is. I don't know. Maybe you know. So the actual goal, yeah, but I'm talking about like for, um, so the actual goal for fostering is a safe reunification between the child and the parent or the legal guardian. Hey, Bill, thanks for stopping in. So, what they are at that point, they're called a China, which is a child in need of assistance, and it becomes like a juvenile court matter. And there's like lots of services to provide. Um, there's services that are supposed to be provided for the safe removal of the child and work toward reunification. That is the ultimate goal. I mean, obviously, you know that there are some cases out there where reunification just is not at all possible. But I think as society, we always like to think that in a lot of cases there are. I mean, people are redeemable in a lot of cases. Um, so I mean, it's always a goal to reunite the child with the parents or the legal guardian. Adoption is only becomes a possibility when the reunification cannot and should not occur, and the parental rights are terminated by a court. So when the children came to me, they were already in adjudication to have the parental rights revoked, and it was already like in the final stages. So. Um, in order to adopt, who can foster or adopt? So you have to be at least 18 years old. Um, every state is different. There might be like an actual like state-run agency that handles all this, such as HHS. They might do it all, or they might contract that out to an outside source, such as in Iowa, it's Four Oaks. Four Oaks handles all the foster and adoption, all the HHS foster and adoption cases. I mean, there are private adoption cases that other entities handle, but in the state of Iowa for HHS, they contract that out to a group called Four Oaks. So you have to be at least 18 years old. You can be married, single, a couple. You can own your own home. You can rent. You know, whatever. You can have children already. You don't have to have children. Different races, religions, cultures, sexual orientations. I mean, there is no like tried and true like there's nothing aside from a large criminal background that will prevent you from being a foster home for a child or even adopting. So in Iowa, you just have to be Iowa residents and legal residents of the United States. So if you're illegal here, sorry, it's just not going to happen. So there are three routes that you can take within this system. You can be foster care licensing only. You can be foster care licensing plus adoption approval, or like what I did is it's called adoption approval only, but a lot of people know it as foster to adopt. Since the kids were like in immediate need of having a home, like the process was really streamlined for me, and just kind of like fast tracked in order to get me approved and everything. But it typically takes about 4 to 5 months. So what you would normally do is that you would send an inquiry in that you want to become a foster parent or an adoptive parent. And then there's like this orientation class that you have to do. Then there's the application, and then the background check. Then they have to assign you a caseworker in a home study. Then there's there's like over 30 hours worth of service training that you have to do. Then you also have to become a mandatory reporter. And then HHS will give them your final approval if they want to. Which, again, so the background check. I mean, they look into everything. So I had, I had gotten arrested like about 20 or so years ago for this minor thing, which I'm not going to go over because it's really stupid and really embarrassing. But I actually had to like write an actual like essay about why was I arrested, what was the reason behind that, what have I done to. Hi, honey bunny. I'll put your shoes on. Oh, so much for that. She found me.
Daddy, it's dark.
Okay, yes, it's dark,
Yeah.
but hopefully she'll be out of camera. So,
Yeah, what?
training has changed a lot over the years. So, there's so many different things that you can like go over. You are still, the law still says that you have to have 6 hours annually for renewal. So you have to have like continuing education classes that go along with that. But there's all different like other kinds of avenues that you can do, whether it be like behavior management, trauma and development. Maybe you're going to be like more into grief and loss. So there's like different levels that you can become. Yeah, and so like your home doesn't have to be like fancy. It doesn't have to be like quote unquote Pinterest perfect. So they just have to have a permanent bedroom with permanent walls, a door that closes, an operable window, for fire code. They have to have some type of clothing storage, whether it be a closet or a dresser. And they have to have an actual bed. You can't just, toss them on a flour sack or an air mattress. I don't know why you would want to. And then you generally have to have 35 square feet per child. And children of the opposite sex can be housed in the same room, given that the room is big enough. I believe up until the age of 4 or 5, something like that. Very, very close to that. So, also, basement bedrooms need to have both a direct exterior exit and a stairway exit. You also need to have working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors on each sleeping level. You have to have an approved fire extinguisher. Any medications and poisonous substances need to be appropriately walked away. Yeah, so I had like my own medicine. So everything that I had to have sealed in a bag that locked, and then that bag had to go into like a safe that locked. Yeah, it's a little redundant, but they just want to make sure that the kids aren't going to get in your medication. But you also have to do that with their medication too. If they're on medication, you have to keep that locked away. What else? So they require a criminal and a child abuse record check. They do like you have to get fingerprinted, and then it runs through the FBI criminal history. They really check for like recent drug felonies. And if you have any type of child endangerment or neglect or abandonment on your record. Basically any type of like, really like physical kind of, law breaking, anything like that. Like I said, they poked around in mine and they found my background. I just had to explain that away, and then they were okay with it. Just if you're ever going to go and apply to be a foster parent or an adoptive parent, just tell the truth. Just put it out there. Don't say don't hide anything, because if you hide it, it looks like you're trying to, hide it. And trust me, they will find it. So when I got my kids and then I moved out into my own apartment with them, all I got was a 2-bedroom apartment. So I had to get special dispensation for my kids to be housed in the same room together since they were so far apart in age. But I was able to do that given the needs of my eldest child and, you know, keeping him safe. So I was able to get that okayed with. So when you get all through that and then you get your proper licensing and everything, then but there's also the home study. So you got to go through the home study. And the home study, they're going to look over, I mean, people hear home study and they think that they're just going to come in and invade your home and look in every nook and cranny, look in every little thing that they can find, which they do somewhat. But during the home study, they discuss like what ages you want, what kind of needs are you equipped to handle. Are you equipped to handle, such as with me, are you able to handle someone who has a high level of needs that need to be met? You know, like, what are you able to take sibling groups? What gender do you prefer? You know, it's a lot. You know, they don't really tell you everything either. You know, because I got my son first, and then they said, "Oh, well, you know, there's a sister too," and I was told that the sister is like 2 years younger, and nothing's really wrong with, or nothing's really, you know, not wrong, but there's nothing wrong with her, is what essentially it is. But they were wrong, because she was not 2 years younger, she was 18 months old. So, I mean, they, like, you only get as much information as what your caseworker gives you. So if your caseworker was given the wrong information, obviously it's not going to add up. But you are allowed to know, you're pretty much allowed to know everything about the child. Are they a known placement risk? You're allowed to look through all the relevant records. You're allowed to look into their background a little bit. I mean, you're not, you know, you're not really allowed to, like, get to know the parents, but you are given a whole lot of background. But they also want to know about you. So they want to know, are you able to handle everything that they have? Well, I'm sorry, James. I'm sorry. I mean, it is what it is. Suck it up, buddy. But anyway, so there's a lot of things there's a lot of hoops to go through. And then, but you're also allowed to, like, go to, like, their IEP meetings. You're allowed to, because obviously, you know, you don't become their legal parent just because a child lives with you, but you are, like, their quote unquote guardian, but you're not. So you have certain rights that you don't have every right. Like, you can go to medical appointments, you can go to IEP meetings, you can and all that court dates. You can go to all that, obviously, because you had to take the child. So in Iowa, so once you pass your home study, then, you know, you're given your license, and then you can oh, James, you know I care about you. So then you can, like, oh God, sorry, my thoughts are just, like, slipping out of my head right now. So you get your license, and then they, I mean, they could call you up and be like, hey, you know, we have this kid or this child, they need to go somewhere within the next couple of weeks. What do you think about that? And then you can go through the background. But you also might get a call, like my roommate did, and be like, this child needs somewhere to be. in 2 hours. You got 2 hours to make up your mind. So you kind of got to live like you're ready to get a child at any point in time, because you got to make sure that you're like someone's going to be there with the child all the time, whether it be you or another parent, or if there is a like a daycare arrangement that you have pre-done. You just have to like make sure that you're always there and able to care for the child. What else? You generally have to so they tell you what child that's out there that needs a place, and you are allowed to say no. I mean, nothing's gonna you can say no for 20 times, and they're not going to be like, well, they obviously don't want one. We're never going to ask them, because that's not how it works. They're just going to go with the most readily available person. And if you just know at that time, like, I just cannot take anybody on at this moment, you can say no for whatever reason. But like I said, the point is, the point of fostering is always for possible reunification with the parent whenever possible. So, but there is also foster to adopt, but it is absolutely not guaranteed. About 70% in Iowa, about 70% of children in foster care are ultimately reunited with birth parents, or they're adopted by relatives. Now that may seem like a pretty large percentage, which it is, but there are a lot of kids in the foster system. There are I don't know the actual numbers. I just know that it is a lot. So there's always kids out there in need of either a forever home or a not forever home, just to get them through, and sadly, the ones that get adopted first are pretty much the younger ones. But there are, preteens and teenagers that are all looking for good homes too. So if you are ever in a point where, you're just like, I'm ready to take on another child, I would implore you to go out and at least look into the possibility of getting your foster license, if something like that appeals to you. And then, so they really do try to keep sibling groups together as much as possible. So that's a big thing. They always try to keep sibling groups together. It's because it's really important, not only for each of the kids. Just a moment. For each of the children, so that way they feel like they have some kind of familiarity. But it's also really good for you, because it kind of makes your life a little bit easier. You get to learn about the child through someone else's eyes. So, yeah. But also, you should not enter into the foster system and to become a foster parent with the assumption that the child that will be coming into your home will eventually become yours, because that's not always the case. You got to go through the termination of the parental rights, and that can be a lengthy thing too. I mean, it just all depends on where they are at in that process. But you can also go in with the intention of adopting. So, you can, I don't want to make it sound like a catalog, but once you get all the way through this, they do have a list of children who are absolutely 100% ready for adoption and ready for their forever home. and you get to quote sadly kind of check them out and look them over and everything, and see if you are equipped to handle them. So at that point, you're entering into what is known as like adoption only. And at that point, you got 3 face-to-face visits with their caseworker at that point, pretty much at 30, 90, and 180 days after the placement, just to make sure that everything's going good, make sure that there's no issues coming up or anything. And generally, any child that's like 14 or older, they pretty much have a say on whether or not they want to be adopted by you. So you got that. Does anybody have any questions so far? Or anything that they want to tell? Or anything like that? Like, not like we can take a little break for a little Q&A time. You can ask me anything. You can ask me what the weather's like. Rainy. That's how the weather is. So if that's what you were going to ask, I already answered it for you. Well, that's awesome, Sarah. I mean, she was old enough to know that she needed someplace to be, and she was also, felt comfortable enough with you to say that she wanted to live with you, which is an awesome thing. That's really amazing. Oh, and also, if you foster, you do get a stipend every month to help support the child. And you get Medicaid, and then you also get child care assistance. Again, this is just based on Iowa, and also in Iowa also has a higher support therapeutic foster care for children who may have significant behavioral or mental health needs, such as my son. So my son, you all know about my son. And if you don't, feel free to ask. I'll fill you in. So he had higher support needs. And so did my daughter at the time. And she still does. Yes, honey bunny. You have stuff that doesn't belong to you that should be on my workbench. Right? Okay, so go put them on the workbench, please. No, this is my desk. That's not a workbench. Okay, and that's what we have on our workbench.
I need to grab some more, Daddy.
No, it shouldn't have been her age. That was it. I mean, it might have. So technically, I never did get any money for fostering my kids, because even though I went through the classes and I was just going for adoption only, I never got fully licensed. So I was able to get like Medicaid and child care assistance, but I never saw a dime, and they never offered it. So there's that. It might have been like you might not have. Well, I guess if she was your foster kid, you had to have gotten fully licensed. So I don't know. Again, that was whatever state it was, and I can't speak for that. Yeah, so I don't know if you they might have approved you to to house her or whatever, but you're still fully licensed? Okay. So, and also when you adopt in Iowa, you get an adoption subsidy. So for qualifying children in Iowa with special needs, we have a subsidy program set for a certain amount of money per day. But not every adoption qualifies for that. Mine do because my children are technically special needs. And also in Iowa, we are given up to 10 respite days per fiscal year at $20 a day. So if you have someone who's, so if I have someone who's really nice in my life and is willing to watch them for only $20 a day, thank you, honey bunny.
I'll try to get some more.
Yeah, can you pick them all up, please? Thank you. So there's that. So, but I will say that unfortunately there are some people out there that do enter into the foster system just for the money. Please do not do that. You're basically you're a horrible human being at that point, in my opinion. You know, just do not go in there and do it for the money. Because there isn't that much money involved. So my adoption subsidy will go up whenever they get to the ages of 6, 12, and 16. It goes up. But so yeah, I mean it helps, but it's not like it's the reason, you know. So yeah, so that's that's the like broken down version of everything as to what happens when you are fostering or adopting. But there's so much more to it. There is so much more that it really, you really feel like a great person. And so I know I do. It's tough to explain. You know, I don't really, I don't like to come out and say it because, you know, I don't, thank you, honey bunny. I don't want it to make it sound like I did this for like the accolades or whatever. And there's my son up there just hopping away. Why don't you go pick up my shop, please? Can you pick up everything off the floor? I'm live. She's fine, she's on my camera right now, but I am live.
I know why he was acting up the other night. He threw 2 of his pills in the tub. The big 100 milligram one and the guapazine one. I found him in the tub when I gave him his bath tonight.
Oh, lovely.
So we need to start watching him swallow his pills.
Okay, great.
One, the 100 milligram one was stuck to the thing on the tub. And when I was filling up with water, the guapazine come floating up. And I'm like,
Yep, that'll do it. Okay.
pick what up?
Autism is fun. It really is. You know, it's just, you know, Dad's job is never over. I mean, thankfully my sister is here. I mean, a lot of you know about my sister, and thankfully she's here. But still, at the same time, Dad's job is never done. Not even when I'm going live on YouTube trying to talk to all you guys about this. So I do just want to like make sure that there are 3 distinctions that are very clear to everybody. Just because a child is removed from the home does not automatically mean that the parents' rights are going to be terminated. Fostering does not always mean that you will be able to adopt them. Just because your child behind you keeps saying daddy all the time does not mean that, okay, well, can you put them on my workbench? That you can't get up here right now, okay? Okay, you want a hug and a kiss? You want a hug and a kiss?
No.
No? Okay. Well, don't pull on that. Okay?
I'm taking off my shoes.
But don't take off your shoe, not down here. Put your shoe back on. Children, aren't they fun?
I'm on your tablet.
Well, go find it. It's upstairs somewhere. Go ask Wendy. Okay?
Okay.
Um,
Bye-bye.
So yeah, fostering is not always a guarantee for adoption. No matter how much you love that child, no matter how much you get to bond with her, um, or not her, but them, does not always mean that adoption is possible. What? I'll take a hug and a kiss. Okay, hug it. And a kiss.
Big hug.
Big hug.
And then big kiss.
And a big kiss. Okay.
And Daddy, it's Daddy one.
Stop. Stop.
It's Daddy.
Go find the tablet.
Okay. Then I can ask
See you later, honey bunny. I love you too, hummy gummy. Bye bye. See you later. See you later. Bye. Bye. And also, just because you love that child does not mean that you are ownership of that child's case. Yes, you are there to be their guardian. You are there to effectively raise them, but you are not in charge. Like, you still have to get you have to go through your caseworker to even get a new medication for them. Like, you have to have the child's caseworker approve that. Also, and I'm going to tell you this right now because I went through it myself, that if your child needs surgery and you need the caseworker's permission to have that surgery, you had better start right away on getting that for getting that clearance. Because the doctor may say, oh, I'm going to talk to your caseworker, and the caseworker says, oh, well, I'm going to talk to your doctor, does not mean the two are going to talk. So you kind of got to be that middleman. I learned that the hard way. Hey, Dozer, thanks for dropping in. Also, hi, honey bunny. Is that it? So yeah, so I mean, there's so much to know. There's so much to figure out. There's so much to go over. What?
Daddy, what's in my shoe? It's out.
What's in your shoes? Probably your feet.
There are forks in my shoes.
Oh, there's forks in your shoes?
There are forks in my shoes.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Does anybody have any questions so far about anything? Any stories they want to tell?
Daddy, it's fun in my butt too.
I don't talk about your butt. Go find my tablet.
But I don't ask Wendy.
Well, go ask her.
But he's gone.
She is not gone. She's upstairs.
But I don't want to find her.
Well, then I guess you don't want the tablet.
Can I ask you to get the tablet, please?
I'm not right now. I'm a little bit busy.
I want that tablet.
Well, go ask Wendy.
But I don't want to find her.
I feel like that we're having a circular argument here.
She's upstairs on your room.
Well, go find her. Where's the button that? Where's the whiskey button? Is there like a button that like just will dispense whiskey or something out of my computer? Oh Lord, she's back. What? You need another hug. Okay. And a kiss. You need another one.
Big kiss.
Big kiss. Okay. Thank you. Don't forget your cup. Don't forget your cup. Don't forget to ignore me. Thank you. Yeah, name redacted. Uh, in order to look for your aunt, you have to go upstairs to look for her. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Anyway, so nobody has any questions. Nobody has any stories.
This one, this one, this one, this one.
What are you doing? No, we cannot watch that right now. You go upstairs and you go watch Number Blocks.
No, I want to watch myself.
Okay, I'll be up there in a little bit.
Can I ask your tablet this one, please?
If you can find my tablet, you go ask your aunt.
Wendy.
Go ask Aunt Wendy.
But he's gone.
Well, one, he is a she, and she is not gone.
He's outside.
And she was a she on her birth certificate. And thank you for kissing my elbow. That was odd. Thank you, darling. I know, right, James? So, anywho, Louise. What else can I say? So what else they'll do is you have this packet that you have to fill out, and then there's like so many damn pages. I understand that, and not right now, honey bunny. Okay, not right now. Not right now, honey. We might have to end this a little quick because she's being a little turd.
Daddy,
What?
the screen can't get on.
Daddy? Why do you sound British?
The screen can't get on.
Stop, honey. Okay, well, I guess we'll call that quits for now. I might go in at another point in time and go into this a little bit deeper, and we'll have just a large Q&A session some night. So I guess for now I'm gonna call this. Yeah, that hurt, didn't it? Yeah. But thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Much love to you all. I swear one of these days I am just gonna be able to not have them be down here.
Daddy.
So for now,
I have shirts everywhere.
well, yeah. So for now, Family Beyond Labels is signing off. Okay, signing off. You guys have a great night. I'm sure I'll see some of you a little bit later. You all take care. Okay. Have a good one, guys.